What's up? Welcome back to Nowstalgia. Dave here with a review of Larry June and the Alchemist's collab album, The Great Escape. I think Larry June is someone who's been kind of a rising artist in hip hop for several years at this point. Now he's put out a lot of music. He's kind of had a really found a second life for himself, becoming a more independent rapper and linking up with someone like the Alchemist. Of course, needs who needs no introduction, who's been on quite the run himself. Alchemist making tons of noise with his collab albums recently. Of course, working with Freddie Gibbs and of course Rock Marciano album last year to the critical acclaim. Larry June, though, linking up with Alchemist, bit unexpected, I have to say. Larry June, of course, is a Bay Area rapper, and the Alchemist does not make hyphy beats. He does not give you that Bay Area bounce that you expect. There's no Pilo on this album. It does not sound like that. And June is probably a bit better a fit than upon like further inspection because it's not like Larry June's other music was super hyphy bass shit. It was more like post hyphy bay influence. So in that regard, someone as talented as The Alchemist is at producing, you can kind of find a lane for them to match with. But they both said they had some reservations about whether it could work out. But I think it does work out in terms of a fit. Alchemist, of course, can layer on those glitzy piano keys. He can really, I think, kind of weave these soundscapes and has moved beyond just being someone of like a New York classicist producer. He's a lot more than that at this point, even if that's kind of what people would still think of him first. That being said, I think Larry June is kind of like an acquired taste. Like he's a specific style of rapper. He's kind of like layback vibe storyteller rapper. Now, because of that, that means that he doesn't have like the highest energy level, and at times that can sound a bit monotone, or at least a bit like stayed in terms of the tempo. And even with as lush production as you get from someone like The Alchemist, to me, Larry June as a rapper, like sometimes the songs just aren't there in terms of his performance. At least for my personal taste. He's a good rapper, he's a good storyteller, there's no doubt about that. But sometimes the delivery, I think, is just a bit wanting to me. And that's kind of how I felt about his music throughout all of this. And that's why I think, like when you have someone who's a bit more stripped back and laid back and not as like in your face with the Bay production as a Bay rapper like Larry June is, I don't know. Like I think this is just kind of how it's gonna go sometimes. You know, Thankfully there's some really nice features on The Great Escape, which is pretty short, 15 songs, 45 minutes. Action Bronson sounded awesome on Solid Plan. It's probably my favorite song on this. Action, of course, knows Alchemist production well. That's no surprise. But the issue is like Action is just like a much more like engaging and like ear grabbing rapper because of all the quirks that come with Action Bronson. I feel like Larry June kind of gets left behind on a song like that. Palisades, California, Big Sean feature, actually pretty good from Big Sean. Big Sean doing the Sean stuff, but like he sounds pretty like matter of fact and introspective. It's actually a pretty good fit for how Larry June likes to rap. Larry June, of course, is someone who will get materialistic, but he'll also really preach about like business practice and investing in oneself and one's future. So that was actually like a pretty solid collab between Larry June's subject matter and like late period Big Sean's like third eye subject matter. So I thought that was pretty cool. Bully James sounds great. Of course, him and Alchemist have quite a rich history as well. The Wiz feature is kind of unexpected. It's nothing special, but like I'm just happy to hear Wiz like rapping at this point. My guy Joey Badass is on here. Currency, another Alchemist collab here as well. Overall, like I said, I think Larry June can like kind of fall into like his patterns and fall into his pockets and just like get a bit monotone and a bit low energy for me. And it's distracting because he is a good storyteller. But yeah, so I thought ultimately Great Escape is just okay. I wouldn't stack this up against some of the great Alchemist collabs we've gotten recently, like Alfredo or the Elephant Man's Bones. But that's okay. Larry June makes a lot of music, and he's definitely a rising talent. And it's really cool that he's found like this second wave of his career and found some success and be able to make something work, at least tangentially, with someone as esteemed as the Alchemist. So you can't be too critical, I suppose. But let me know, how did you feel about this Larry June and Alchemist album? Did it meet expectations? Were you a bit let down like me? And for more rap reviews, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.